4 marks have not been uploaded in the spreadsheet.
Experiment 4. Just write an email to me. I will look into it.
Okay, sir.
Oh.
Thank
Okay, so good afternoon to everyone. So welcome back the post mid-semester examination. So in the previous week, we were covering about the standard Proctor compaction test as a part of the soil mechanics laboratory. So today, let us try to understand, let us try to have a demonstration on another experiment. So that is the relative density. So let us try to understand. So in and out about the relative density. So first of all, if you look at the basic definition of the terminology, that is relative density. So there are two words. The first word coined is a density. So I don't need to define the fundamental meaning of it. So mass upon the volume. So in your soil mechanics also, you are already seen different variety of the densities like a bulk density, so submerged density, dry density, so on and so forth. But another term that adds to the density, that is relative density. That means you are comparing one density with another or proportional. So you are matching the proportionality. But why the proportionality is required? That is a basic question. Now for that you need to recall the last class. In the last class, we were discussing about the compaction. So the compaction test was of two types, the standard Proctor compaction and modified Proctor compaction. So in the last week, we were demonstrating the standard Proctor compaction test. However, if you look at the validity of the standard Proctor compaction test, this kind of a test is typically valid for the soil which composes of the particles of sand, silt and clay. So it should be sand, so plus silt plus clay. So that means, so it's a kind of a uniformly graded, it's not uniformly, it's a kind of a well graded soil where you have the particle sizes of all ranges. Then only you can able to compact. Okay, that is one aspect. The second aspect is the same standard Proctor compaction test. It's not valid for a pure sand. Why? So let me take a small example. See, for example, I have taken a sand material here. Now see, if I take the sand into the hand, so it is pulverized, it is a very dry state and pourable. You can see, so how it is flowing, so from hand to the container. Okay, so if this is a complete dry state, now in your second year or something, you have already understood in your construction building materials. Suppose if I add water to the sand, the same thing has been done when we have done the compaction test. There also we have taken a soil consisting of sand, silt and clay particles, and to that we have added the water. Then thereby we compacted using the Proctor rammer into the standard mode. But the basic question comes is, can we not do the same thing by adding water to the sand? So the answer is no. So we cannot able to compact. So why? Because there was no interaction of water with the sand. So this is the fundamental reason we can't able to compact a pure sand like the well graded sand material. So that's why the standard Proctor compaction test is not valid for pure sand material. But of course, if you add clay or silt to it, probably we can compact it. So there is no doubt in it. So we can able to compact it. Now having said, so the reason for not able to conduct the standard Proctor test on the sand material. But the question comes is, suppose if I encounter sand, so in the field or when you become a geotechnical engineer or a civil engineer. So if you want to deal with the sites comprised of the sand, then how should I understand the density characteristics of that particular sand? There comes is the term called as a relative density. So we need to have an alternate mechanism, so by which we can able to measure or frame out the what state of the natural soil. Basically, if you look at the sand material, so the state of the material is normally designated with the three terminology. Those are called as the sand in a loose state, or medium state, or a dense state. But of course, in your soil mechanics, you have already seen that again based on the relative density. Relative density. So this is the basic definition of the relative density, which is defined as Emax minus E divided by Emax minus E minimum. Emax means the maximum void ratio. E is void ratio at the natural state, that is under the field condition. E minimum means minimum void ratio. Now there are three void ratios are there: maximum, natural state, and a minimum. So when I say all the three, that means all the three must be possible for a single sand material. There is some kind of the possibility. Then only we can able to define all these things. Now, when I say maximum and minimum, they inherently so imply about the state of the material. What is that state? That state could be loose state or dense state. Now again, so this loose and dense as a further implications. In a sense, the loose state indicates that the void ratio is maximum, while the dense state implies that the void ratio is minimum. So in other way around, suppose if you look at the very fundamental definition of the density, which is weight upon the volume, weight upon the volume. Now suppose if you keep the volume remains constant, the loose state means less amount of the soil, dense state means more amount of the soil. So this is another way of understanding the loose, medium and dense state of a sand material. Okay, while in case of the standard Proctor, we have not given any kind of a classification system that it is a loosely compacted or densely compacted. It is compacted, but however, the compaction parameters are measured in the form of the gamma D max and OMC. Gamma D max and OMC. But this is not valid in case of the sand. But this is replaced by the relative density. So in case of the well-graded soil, we use gamma D max and OMC as a compaction parameters, while in case of the sand, we use the relative density, so to measure or represent the state of the soil in the field condition. So this is the fundamental definition. Now, what is the obvious implication of the state on the engineering properties of a material? Now suppose if the sand is in a loose state, it implies that that particular sand, when subjected to external perturbations, say for example earthquake or for example the mechanical loading condition, then it can undergo lot of compression on the settlement. But if you densify the loose state of the material, then you can reduce the compressibility. So that is the practical application. Well, it is not only the settlement. So when the material is transformed from the loose state to the dense state, obviously you are inherently increasing so the compressibility property. So from high compressibility to low compressibility, permeability from high permeable material to the low permeable material, and shear strength from low shear strength to higher strength. So these are the obvious implications of loose, medium and dense state that you are achieving by doing the relative density. Okay, so these are a few fundamentals about the relative density, what is its fundamental meaning, what kind of applications of this in the real life situation, and for what kind of the soil this relative density value, so on and so forth. But let us come to the today's experiment. So that is then how to determine this relative density. And is it possible to determine this relative density both in the field as well as in the laboratory? So the answer is, suppose if you look at these parameters, Emax, E minimum and E is always obtained from the field. E will be always obtained from the field condition, while Emax and E minimum will be determined in the laboratory. in the laboratory. So meaning thereby, when you talk about the relative density test, it is the combination of the field as well as the laboratory test. Okay, so if you do not have the natural wide ratio, you cannot able to determine the relative density. Now, it is relative, you can see what is the relationship between the relativity. The relativity means, so Emax minus E minimum means these are the two extreme points. With respect to that, where is the natural state of the soil mass? That is the relative. So that is relative. So for example, if you show in the form of a graph, suppose if I draw a line, so the upper point and the lower point. So if they represent, so this is Emax, and the bottom represents the limit of E minimum. This is maximum wide ratio possible and a minimum wide ratio possible. Your E value, that is the field value, always lies in between. It cannot exceed Emax or it cannot go behind E minimum. So these are all E values. Now, the relative means you are comparing the field wide ratio with respect to maximum and minimum states. That's why it is called as a relative density. Now, depending upon this E value, whether it is close to the Emax or close to the E minimum, then we can designate, so that particular material may be in dense or maybe is in loose state. So this is how the measure dr is applied in the field to understand the state of the material. Okay, now having said this much, so now let us try to come to the how to determine the relative density. Now here I have given the schematic of the mold so that we can easily see it. Now here also I have given the basic definition of the dr, Emax minus E by Emax minus E minimum. Now in today we will try to determine only Emax and E minimum, because as I told, only these two parameters can be determined in the field, in the laboratory. E shall be applied or shall be determined from the field. So therefore nothing to do with the E value. So whatever we do today is to determine Emax and E minimum. Now one thing is certain. When I talk about the Emax, maximum wide ratio, what is the state of the material? Will it be in a loose or will it be in a dense state?
Loose state.
Loose state. While when I say E minimum,
Dense state.
dense state. That means I have to take a single material, that is identical material, and should achieve densest possible state and loosest possible state. Okay, so therefore I am going to take an identical material, an identical mold, which is having a diameter of D and height of H. So to replicate the loose state, what I will do is I will simply pour the sand, dry sand, into the mold. So let me also show you the mold. So this is the mold. So this is the mold you can see inside. So this has a certain diameter and height. So into this mold, you can simply fill your sand. Simply fill the sand to the brim. So as I showed here. Okay, that is the first stage. Nothing to do with. Only filling to the maximum possible extent of the loose condition. Now, this is the empty mold. I can able to record its weight, and once it is filled with the sand material, again I will be able to record its weight. So therefore, I know now the diameter and height. So thereby I know the internal volume of this mold. So I know the internal volume. So then once I fill this mold with the sand, I know the weight of the sand, that how much I have filled it. Now once I know the W1, that is weight of the sand in very loose state, then I can able to calculate the volume of the mold pi by 4 into D square into H. It's quite simple based on the geometry. So since I know the weight, I know the density, I can able to determine the gamma D minimum, least possible density. weight upon the volume, weight upon the volume. And once I know the gamma d, so just recall your soil mechanics volume mass relationships. So you know the relationship between gamma and void ratio. So gamma d or gamma d is equals to G into gamma W by 1 plus E. But here I know the gamma d, so I want to determine the E. So since density is minimum, there is a possibility of the maximum void ratio. So therefore E max is equal to Gs into gamma W by gamma d minimum minus 1. Just try to rearrange your equations. Rearrange equations. So I know the gamma d from the weight upon volume. So substitute here. Now you need to assume, or if you recall the very second experiment, the specific gravity of the soil. From there you have already determined the density of the sand material. So therefore substitute that value directly into this equation. So from the experiment number 2, you are obtaining the specific gravity of the sand, and from today's experiment you are obtaining the gamma d minimum. So calculate Emax. Calculate Emax. So in this equation now I know how to calculate the Emax. As simple as possible. Now the problem comes how to determine the gamma d maximum. Now how to compact the soil sample? On one way I said the compaction is not valid. Okay, so using the standard proctor, but I need to densify it. So therefore what I will do is I will densify the sand. So instead of the standard proctor compaction ramming effect, so I will use some kind of the vibration energy. As you know, so if you take any flowable material and if you apply some kind of the vibration, they will settle to the maximum possible extent. The same principle or the philosophy I will use in the relative density. So what I will do is, again, I will take the mold. So earlier I have filled to the maximum possible loosest state. I will repeat the same thing, but with the, again another or identical sand material. So again I will fill the mold up to the top. Now in order to densify it, I will keep this mold on the vibrating platform. Now try to open your handouts. So here you can see on your left side top picture, so right side top picture. So this is the mold with the sand. Now suppose if I directly put this mold with the sand on the vibrating platform, there is a possibility that this sand will get simply spilled it out. Okay, so because of the vibration energy. So therefore I need to put some surcharge weight. So here you can see, so different setups are available. There is a surcharge weight, there is a dial gauge, there is a standard mold, and there is a guiding sleeve. So in the mold I have filled the sand material in loosest possible state. Now what I will do is, once I have accomplished the step of full filling, then I will measure its height. That will be recorded as initial height. Then what I will do is, on top of the mold, I will put surcharge weight. But look at, I am hardly maintaining any gap between the brim and the soil surface. So if I put any surcharge weight directly on top of the mold, there is again possibility of this surcharge weight falling down because of the perturbation. So I need to have some other mechanism. That mechanism is called as a sliding sleeve protection. So this is called as a guide sleeve. So what I will do is, the moment I fill the mold with the sand, then I will screw the sliding sleeve. Yeah. So guiding sleeve with the mold, and inside this guide sleeve, I will put my surcharge weight. So thereby, so it prevents the falling of the surcharge weight. This guiding sleeve prevents the falling of the surcharge weight. So as you can see from the right side bottom picture. So the bottommost is the mold, and on top of you have inserted the guiding sleeve, Into it, you have inserted the surcharge weight. Surcharge weight. So once this entire assembly is ready, the entire assembly is directly kept on the vibrating platform, and this is vibrated for approximately 8 minutes. Approximately for 8 minutes. Now I don't need to explain. So as a result of the vibration, so there is a reduction in the volume. There is a reduction in the volume. You can see. So the initial height is h. After subjecting to vibration, the height is reduced to h1. So the reduction in height, that is delta h, is equal to h minus h1. H minus h1. Now the final height is h1. But remember, there is no change in the weight of the soil. So as you maintain the weight of the soil, the same weight of the soil has been taken, but adjusted in smaller amount of the volume, that is V2. V2. So there is a reduction in the volume, no reduction in the weight, reduction in the volume. So in the second step, in the first step, measurement of weight is accurate. In the second step, your measurement of the height should be accurate in order to get the accurate values of the volume. So here V2, that is volume 2, after subjecting to vibration, is calculated as pi by 4 into d square into the modified height, that is h1. So once I know the h1, again I can take the weight W2. So because this is completely different than this one. So this one set of experiment, this is another set of experiment. So calculate the gamma d max, that is W2 divided by V2. So V2 is calculated from here, pi by 4 into d square into h1. So once I know the gamma d max, so I can able to calculate the minimum wire ratio. So that is GS into gamma W by gamma d max minus 1. So this is how you are going to witness how the relative density test will be done in the laboratory. Now how do you calculate the DR value, that is relative density value? So for this purpose, what you need to do is, you have to bring the soil sample, repeat the steps of determining the Emax and E minimum. So try to determine Emax and E minimum. And again, there is something called as a pore cutter method or sand replacement method. So pore cutter or sand replacement. Pore cutter or sand replacement. So we adopt either pore cutter method or sand replacement method to determine the wire ratio in the field. Wire ratio in the field. So from this method we will obtain the E, and from today's experiment we will determine the Emax and E minimum. So thus that completes the determination of relative density. Okay, so this is what all about the relative density test. So if you have any question, you can ask me. Anybody has any question? Okay, so if you don't have any question, then we can go for live demonstration. After the questions. Directly same to the common email is there. BTech 19 or BTech. So anybody has any question? So you can see this is the guiding sleeve. So this will be kept directly on the mold. Yeah. So I'll be disconnecting the camera for some time. So I'm taking this camera to the experiment position place. So bear for a few minutes. You can take the camera. Boat.
मेरे हाथ में एक है और फिर बड़ा लेकर से निकालने फिर बोतल में भरेंगे
That's the key. Which camera did you connect? Here? How do you ensure that this is camera? Now,
और बड़े बड़े कुछ नहीं निकालने एक ही वाला
यार आज तो बहुत
so we have already taken soil we have oven dried the soil वो देखो देखो तो देखते हैं so we have taken sandy soil here we have oven dried it so now we will fill it up here अच्छा भी कोई अच्छा
yeah, are you able to hear the voice?
अच्छा भी के नाम
Hello? No, speaker is here only. No, voice. Yeah, Subhajit Banerjee, are you able to hear us?
Yes, sir, it's audible.
Okay, fine. Okay, speaker is here only. That is, when they speak, we will be able to hear.
If they speak, then how it is.
It's working.
थोड़ा लो है लेकिन अरे वाह We have a funnel here. इसके ऊपर रख देंगे डायरेक्ट नहीं इसके ऊपर डायरेक्ट रखने के लिए नीचे रखने के ऊपर उठाना कैसा
Yeah, keep it down. So down, they are not seeing anything.
So this is the relative density table on which we will apply vibrations we are using it as a we will take the initial weight and show the record give the readings to you.
So just slow down.
The data is not visible to them, so let us ask whether it is visible or not for them.
It's visible.
Oh no, there they are seeing this video is not visible.
No, that is both as well. Hello? Yeah, Mitchell Swami. Are you able to see the equipment? Pramod. Ayush Gupta.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see the experiment?
No, sir. Like only we are able to hear you.
No, you are not able to see the camera.
Yes, sir. We are able to see that.
The setup you could able to see now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I thought you were asking about the voice from the setup.
Oh no, no.
Sorry.
Okay.
F1 F1 mode.
Yeah, height of Bryson after vibration. After vibration.
167 mm.
Height.
Height.
Diameter.
Height.
167.
Weight is 4.180 kgs. And
150, no? We can take the weight now.
It's going that way. Yeah, but
Yeah.
so here you can notice that so when they are pouring the sand, so they're making sure that it is poured uniformly at any given level. And another important point you can notice that so we are not applying any kind of external perturbation. So thereby there is some kind of the densification or something. We are trying to make as much loose state as possible. Here can we not go for the standard placement? Suppose you set the camera there.
Clean it once.
Just tell them to clean it.
यहीं से विंडो से दिखा देंगे.
Oh, this is a beautiful one.
लैपटॉप लेके जा सकते हैं।
ले सकते हैं। अभी तो वही किया है।
तो चैट करके करा देंगे। या दूसरे के बात करेंगे तो वो
Yes, yes. ये तो वहाँ एक्सप्लेन करेगा, सो आप वहाँ पे तैयार रहिए, सिर्फ इसके कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं।
तो किसी जगह भी बोल
हाँ,
लॉन्ग लेंगे।
स्कोर का डेटा, स्कोर का डेटा कौन सी लेते हैं?
हाँ, तो कुछ निशान से
हाँ,
तो ये लोग कर सकते हैं। तो लैपटॉप में बात नहीं करते तो उसको कोई भी मतलब नहीं हो सकता।
नहीं है, लेकिन वो थोड़ा बड़ा साइज का है ना, तो फिर कटिंग वो स्टफ हो जा रहा है, तो बना के
explain. Fill it.
और लेवल का भी अच्छा अंदर निकाल रचना को कुछ टाइप
Commit.
We have to take the initial weight and limit state. वो प्लेटफॉर्म को थोड़ा साफ करने
No, no, first explain that. Explain.
So now we have to
Remove this. What is your
so this is the relative density table where we will which we will use to provide the required vibrations for 8 minutes. So this is the electronically operated equipment. We will place the filled soil which we have filled in the loosest possible state. We will place it on the top of the vibrating table. There are three holes over there on the table where we will use these screws to tighten them so that this mold does not shift or does not move. It remains undisturbed while we are applying the required vibrations for 8 minutes. While tightening any of these equipment, which have got 3 to 4 screws, we have to make sure that we are not tightening any of the one-sided, one side much more than the others. We have to take turns to tighten each side so that it is uniformly tightened and it is not loose to any one particular side. छोटा वाला स्थान है. While after we have filled this soil, dry soil in a loose state, we have to make sure that while taking the reading, while moving this mold, we are not applying any kind of agitation or vibration to the soil, so that it still remains as undisturbed as possible till we are applying the required vibrations. As per the standards, we have to apply the vibrations for 8 minutes, which we will monitor through a timer on our mobile. The timer on the system is right now not working. If this mold is not fixed properly, then during the vibration sometimes it comes out, the screw loosens, and then there is a waste of soil. एक बार एक थ्रेड काफी ज़्यादा एक तरफ का काफी ना ये ला और अपने के बाद विल प्लेस दिस कलर नो
Yeah. What you put the paper, I think. First, you have to put some paper.
अच्छा फॉर फिलिंग वन
Put some paper.
to avoid any loss of soil we are going to apply a sheet of paper on top of this then this collar will be attached to the mold कोई भी पेपर चलेगा एक शीट सॉइल वेस्ट में होगा तो एक शीट रखनी
No, no, no. Not the, you have to cut the paper and put it on. You have to put this one also, no? Display. Where do you put base coat?
हाँ बेस प्लेट भी will put but paper will be cut we will be सर से जो सॉइल वेस्ट होता है ना तो उसके लिए पेपर अपने
ये तो direct structure होता है।
हाँ सर को डायरेक्ट रखेंगे
Keep it, such as.
डायरेक्टली की
हाँ, direct।
then without paper
पाँच को दो।
नहीं पेपर रखने के
नहीं
लिए
कर
Okay. Yeah, put the sleeve. Not a problem.
डायरेक्टली put
मट्टी की।
This is nice.
करें
सबको भी दो। एक चीज़ सबको दो, सबको दो।
थैंक यू
कनेक्ट कीजिए ना।
हाँ
चल।
Oh, this is very correct. These are these ones.
ऐसा लग रहा है कि सर वो मटेरियल थोड़ा
जाम हो रहा है
ये मटेरियल ऐसा है कि थोड़ा नहीं चल सकता है। थोड़ा रश टाइप का। ना काम हो रही है।
अरे थोड़ा सा हाँ अरे प्लीज करो वो होने है ना पूरा हैंड करना जाम हो गया ना इसीलिए उसको देना पड़ेगा इधर वाला भी जाम हो गया हाँ रेड से अगर उल्टा चढ़ जाता है
तो वाट्सएप में तो पड़ेगा सबले वाट्सएप में
जहाँ तक हाथ से गया मैं कर लिया, आगे टाइप हाथ से मैं कर लिया हूँ, लेकिन वो आगे जाने गया नहीं। ठीक है, हो गया जितना होना था। चलिए प्लीज सर। उधर से स्विच ऑफ हुई ना,
ये तो रिमोट है।
पहले तो उधर लिखूंगे दबा ले। ये वाला कनेक्टेड है ना, ये वाला केबल कनेक्टेड है, दूसरा कुछ है नहीं, छोटा सा काम है। टाइम देख रहा। So we will start the vibrations now for 8 minutes. If you have any doubts, either you ask now to sir or else after the vibrations.
So this has completed the vibration. So now we are taking out the surcharge one by one. So then guiding sleeve. Yeah, just unscrew it. Yeah, so you might have noticed it that so in the earlier step, so we fill the sand up to the brim, right exactly on top, it is visible. Now after vibration, now you can see how much it has fitted. So that means this much volume reduction indicates, so this much the improvement in the density. So now we are trying to measure this deformation, the total settlement. So using the vernier,
You take it at 3 places. Huh? 3 or 6?
6.
6.
Just note down this. So we are going to measure the total compressibility or the total change in height at 6 different places all along the periphery.
13.2 centimeter. 13.2 centimeter.
You can write this is a delta H. Delta
Yes, sorry.
H.
13.2 millimeter. Not delta H.
Yeah.
6
readings.
6 readings.
Delta H.
14.04.
So I now request everyone to note down the readings. So whatever the measurements that were made by us, you can see the initial weight of the mold W1 4.18 kg and weight of the mold plus the dry soil in loose state is 8.930.
Second zone 2.
So if you want weight of the sand alone, then you have to deduct W2 minus W1. Okay, so the internal diameter of the mold is 150 millimeter. The height of the mold is 167 millimeter. So then now, so we are measuring the delta H, that is change in height after vibration. So we are taking approximately 6 readings. Average of these 6 will be considered as the change in delta H, the change in height.
Sir, these things are not written clear. So can you please close up with the camera or something?
Or they are not appearing properly? You can't
No,
able to
sir.
see?
No, sir. Some things are going to be hazy.
Sir,
Okay, okay, okay. Just a minute. But there is no light.
Yes, sir. Now fine, sir.
Now it's fine, na?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fantastic. So now, so we are giving all the results. So it is your duty to calculate gamma D max, gamma D minimum, E max, E minimum, then calculate the DR. So you can take any value of the E to calculate the relative density. So you report directly DR value by assuming some value of the wide ratio.
sir, those values are like 13.2 to 13.4 delta H values.
Yeah, so this is change in height. So this change in height. So at least since this is, we cannot measure at only one place. All along the periphery of the mode we measured at 6 place, and average of the 6 is considered as a single reading.
Sir, I think the decimal places are not decimal.
It is up to you. We can approximately consider 1.3 millimeter.
Sir, 1.3 or 13.31?
13.31 millimeter.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so in the meantime, if anybody has any question, you are most welcome to pose. Anywhere if you feel that you didn't understand properly. Anyway, I'm going to upload this video on the channel, so you can also refer to it again.
Sir, have you uploaded the previous videos?
Previous standard Proctor compaction, I think I have uploaded. I will verify one more time.
Sir, before the examination, I have searched some of the videos, but it was not there. Some of the lab videos.
Okay, okay. So I will upload. I will upload.
Sir, when will you share this Google Drive link?
Pardon me? Have you all received the Google Drive link? Okay. So, what is your down email ID? Hello? Samyajit, what's your down email ID?
Okay, so sir, just a minute. Sir, you can share in the chat also.
Chat. Okay, it is there already in the chat. Okay, we are sharing by the chat. Yes, yeah. So we share in the chat. Please check your chat box.
Yes, sir. And those who are having that issue, you can make the link active for some more days. Those who are having that issue.
Okay, so what is your common email ID? 19 or
Uh,
20?
Sir, 19. You are 19 batch.
Okay,
Sir,
19.
Yeah,
19?
sir, the btech19.c.sif.
Okay. Okay, so I hope everybody has noted down the records, readings. So I can now sign off.